speaks live, now the truth will rise. Yo, it's Marlon speaks live. Yeah, I'm saying what they hide. History uncensored, let the real survive.
For Donald Trump to sit back and pick a fight with us, his consultants gave him the wrong advice, I think, on that one. But and I don't know how this is going to come out. No one does. But I do know, let me fire this at you. I also don't have sympathy for us because the last election was a simple election. The people of America had the opportunity to choose the Constitution or the criminal. And what did they do? They chose the criminal. And now now what they're seeing surprises them. Oh, we're shocked and dismayed. This guy take a look at his record. Where are his casinos now? Bankrupt. Where is everything Donald Trump touched? It turns from gold to trash once he's involved with it. Look at his history. The guy is in the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. He's never even been in the ring. How can he be a member of the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame?
On the Spin Sisters podcast, Jesse the Body Ventura spoke out against Donald Trump.
Anybody that served in the military will understand this story. The first night you get to boot camp, be it Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, it don't matter. The first night, in the middle of the night, you'll have one guy will wake up, he wet the bed, he'll be crying for his mom, he'll go totally ballistic, and in the middle of the night, the authorities will come in and remove this person. Well, you're in boot camp, you never see or hear from him again. I can assure you, if Donald Trump had gone to boot camp, that would have been him. He would have been the guy who wet his bed in the night, screamed for his mom, and got carried out by the authorities.
And he would cook even further on the subject.
There should not be one billionaire in America. None. And I'll tell you why. Because there is nobody that works hard enough to earn $1 billion. And my argument is this. The 2 jobs I did in my life that were physically the most demanding and mentally the most difficult that I ever did paid me the least amount of money. One was going through buds, and I challenge any billionaire to put up with 6 weeks of that at 60.
I swear I worked so hard at Burger King, $4.25 an hour. Man, I'd be so tired and sweaty and smelling like grease and grease all over my clothes, slipping around that dang on floor. Man, trying to hang on and take care of the Saturday night rush. Man, he ain't lying, boy. You get paid the least for the hardest amount of work. And it's sad. It shouldn't be like that, because I got a way better job now, and I don't feel no pain when I leave the job, ever. And I make, pretty good money, you know what I'm saying, considering. But I know I still work hard compared to a lot of people. I work in the factory. I know it's hard compared to a lot of people. But compared to the jobs that I had before, it's the easiest job I ever had. And, I make pretty good money. And like he's saying, the people that get paid the most do nothing, absolutely nothing.
$62 every 2 weeks, know. And the second was right before I went in the Navy. I had a job with the Minnesota Highway Department, couple bucks above minimum wage. I worked for the bridge crew, and you know what my job was? I worked a 4-day work week, 10 hours.
I used to be a direct care worker. I used to literally clean shit off of grown people. They were developmentally challenged people. And that was the job I got paid a little bit over minimum wage. And man, but it had some perks though. It wasn't as physically demanding as working in fast food. But it was just the man, having to deal with that mentally, you know what I'm saying? Cleaning up another grown person, man, it was, boy, it was challenging. So I know what he's saying, man. Dang, let's watch him a little more. I love Jesse Ventura, always have, man. It's my guy.
Hours a day so I could have Friday, Saturday, Sunday for the weekend. You're 18. Of course you're going to do that. But I worked 40 hours in 4 days on the bridge crew, and guess what I did? Ran the 80-pound jackhammer. I challenge any billionaire to run the jackhammer for 40 hours 1 week and tell me he works harder than that. No, he doesn't. That's why I believe there should not be a billionaire in the world.
He would roast the oligarchs.
Let me make this statement. There shouldn't be one billionaire. There should not be one person worth $1 billion. And I know that's shocking hearing it come from me, but the older I get, the more flaws I see in capitalism and the more good things sometimes I see in more socialism. And let me explain on this. What can one do to earn $1 billion? I had at one time what I considered the toughest job I've ever did in my life. I was right out of high school. I had a job with the Minnesota State Highway Department bridge crew, and my job was running the 90-pound jackhammer. You know, all day long in the street. That is the hardest job on the planet. You find me one that's physically or mentally tougher, and I was barely making above minimum wage. And you're telling me that these billionaires who are now doubling their money, doubling their wealth, that they work harder physically than someone spending 8 to 10 hours a day on a jackhammer? Bull crap is what I got to say to that. They earn their money by pushing pencils, and they don't even need to use deodorant because none of them ever sweat, I doubt it, at work. There should not be a billionaire, and I'm going on record to state this. Everybody talks about a minimum wage, a minimum wage, a minimum wage. I say it's time for a maximum wage. How about $12 million a year, $1 million a month? If you can't live on $12 million a year, $1 million a month, maybe we should bring back capital punishment. Well, they already have, haven't they?
And show you how to stand up to power, like...
You and Hulk were once good friends.
Yeah.
What's the likelihood of that ever being repaired?
Never. And he's the one that ratted me to Vince when I tried to unionize. I found that out under federal deposition when Vince was put under sworn, and he didn't hesitate at all. I told my lawyer the story, and in deposition you could ask about anything. And so I wanted to know who ratted me in the locker room because there were no agents, no one from the office was in there when I did it. So it had to be one of the boys. And when my attorney said, Mr. McMahon, has there ever been a union in wrestling? And Vince said, no. He said, has anyone ever tried to? And Vince said, well, I think Jesse Ventura spouted his mouth off about it once before. And my attorney said, did you hear Mr. Ventura? No. Well, then how do you know he did? With no hesitation, Vince went, Hulk Hogan told me. And I didn't show any emotion, but I almost tipped over in the chair because he was my friend.
How Hulk Hogan and MAGA represent the worst of us, and Ventura objected.
He is an incredibly stubborn guy. I mean, dude, you're talking about a guy who was a Navy SEAL, who then, went into professional wrestling, became a governor. Like, it doesn't get any better than that. Like, he's just the GOAT. I also think he's the type of dude who do you think he could be president? No. Unfortunately, America's not ready for that, okay? But the reality is, I would vote for him if he actually ran for president. I don't know. I feel like he is like our Donald Trump. He's like the leftist Donald Trump, I guess. You know what I mean? If there was ever one. Like, a really unique dude with a lot of psychotic perspectives in many respects, but also is like, his heart's in the right place overall. I don't know. He'd be great. Doesn't he have some conspiracy theory weirdo takes? He does, which literally I think would genuinely be a benefit. I'm not even kidding. I think that his weirdo conspiracy theory takes would make him relatable and would probably make him more likely to win.
Here's why I respect Jesse Ventura. He tried to unionize against a union buster. Anyone who does that will have my respect and they will have my support. Secondly, he utilized the entire process within the legal system that when Vince McMahon was under cross-examination, he had his lawyers ask essentially how he found out about the wrestlers trying to unionize, and he outed Hulk Hogan. 4D chess, my people. On top of all of this, not only does he support the unions, he speaks out against Donald Trump. And he does it as a former wrestler, where so many just kiss his feet.
Mm-hmm.
They praise him.
Yeah.
Everyone within that industry is toxic. Almost everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody. But look at the leadership. They put Linda McMahon in charge of the Department of Education to essentially have it be nothing and privatize it. So the donors that Trump took money from can benefit through privatizing schools. Triple H is up there, the steroid freak, saying, oh, you know what I do to get my body great? Steroids. He's behind Trump at every press conference involving sports. That is your representatives. So Ventura speaking out like this, love it. And please, please continue. If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TY.
The Young Turks. The Young Turks channel. I like the Young Turks, you know. Actually, I have a video that I want to share with you guys from another content creator I featured on this channel before, Cool Colas. He actually goes in depth about the racist policies that wrestling have. And it's going to be my first time seeing this. I have my bell notifications on for him, so I seen the title earlier. And kind of wanted to tie him in with this as well. Tie his, because this channel, he do deep dives into a lot of different subjects that's related to the things that he's interested in, which is wrestling. It's like, I forget what he called himself, but he's like I would say he's a pro-black geek, you know. I don't know if you could really have a terminology for that, but you know, that's the closest thing I could say. I think he might have changed the title to the video I seen. Trying to find it. Was it alive? No, it wasn't alive. It was a video. Let's see here. I don't know. He might have erased it, took it down or something. But dang. Well, okay. This might be. Okay, yeah. This is it. This is it. This is it right here.
So today we're going to be talking about Tiffany Stratton and whether or not she is a racist. I've been waiting to dig into this for a while. I'm your host, Cool Colas, and you are now tuning into a new video on my channel. So let's get into it. Anyone who knows me knows that I don't like Tiffany Stratton too much, so this conversation is going to get rough. I mean, how much more typical can you get than having a blonde-haired, big-tittied white woman with a bitchy voice who may be racist? Now let's go ahead and go through her resume and see if she gets the job of the queen supremacist. Let's first look at her first racist task. While she was employed by WWE, most of you all know about her first incident where she was accused of racism by some fans. On May the 15th or the 16th of 2024, she posted a meme on social media, and it was on her stories, by the way, that was based on a clip that she had of her running and hitting Jade Cargill off of the apron. And then an audio was inserted while she was hitting Jade Cargill off of the apron. And the audio said "black bitch," but it was in, I believe, Brandy Rhodes' voice. It was also implied that that audio clip at that moment was inserted to suggest that Tiffany Stratton herself was calling Jade Cargill a black bitch as she was hitting her off the apron. And, you know, she thought this shit was funny because she was posting the laughing emojis when she had put it on her stories. And in return, Tiffany Stratton's actions were seen as polarizing by fans, not bad. And then some of the Lice Legion, you know, they were saying it wasn't racist. And they were also even doubling down and saying, well, Jade is a black bitch, isn't she? She didn't lie. Or my favorite one, it was a mistake. Someone must be impersonating her, dude. After all of this went down, Tiffany Stratton took it down immediately. And then that was it. Nothing else happened. Let's go ahead and look at racist task number 2. In June of 2025, there was an incident where a fan said something to Tiffany Stratton. And this is what he said, and I quote, "You about to lose that title. You keeping it warm for Naomi. Keep it warm, keep it warm." And she responded and said, "Watch your mouth, boy. This title is mine forever." And then the last thing that I wanted to note too, there was even this discussion going around at some point where they said that Tiffany Stratton liked a post that Trump made about snowflakes as well too, which led to people on the internet saying that she was a Trump supporter. Let's go ahead and discuss everything. So for the first instance, she was probably sitting there doing that little evil male chuckle that a lot of these speculated white supremacists like to do when they're about to get away with doing a racist joke towards black people. That's just how it goes. Her little mayonnaise encrusted pussy was probably wet at the idea of trying to say some racist shit. And then again, she took it down immediately, which lets you know that she knew something was wrong or something could happen as a result of her even making that joke. So there's no way that she didn't see that as not racially motivated or think that it was going to signal that other people were going to see it that way. So for, again, some of these lice warriors going out here saying that it wasn't racist at all, even she herself knew that that shit was racist or could be interpreted as racist. So that's why she took it the fuck down. But of course, it didn't matter because remember, nothing happened. As for the second instance, anyone who has either not been living underneath a rock or is not inherently racist knows the negative connotation that comes with calling a black man a boy. These meth monsters are just going to pretend that they never knew anything about this. Because one of my favorite lines that they'll say is, "I don't see the big deal." Of course you don't see the big deal. It's about us, not you. And to be honest, your people are the ones who do it to us. See, calling a man a boy is offensive because of its historical context. It's a slur that was used to deny a black man their manhood, infantilize them, and reinforce racial hierarchies, stripping them of dignity and status, especially during Jim Crow and during slavery. Also find it interesting that she's from Minnesota, which is known to be this progressive and liberal state, yet she has a very southern racist way of behaving. As y'all know, I have discussed many a racist at this point in WWE. I've talked about everybody from Hulk Hogan to Jim Ross to Andre the Giant to Sabu and much more. And with that, I know a lot of people are sitting there and they're saying, well, Cool Colas, what makes Tiffy Time so special? Let me go ahead and tell you. What I don't like about Tiffy Time is that her suspected racism is more blatant than the typical racism that we have seen between 2023 and 2026. And she got rewarded for it. Matter of fact, she was openly rewarded for it by WWE. Because immediately, even after that incident, she went from being this maybe mid-carder, low to mid-carder, to just being showered with opportunities. The point is, they used that cartoon bird-looking bitch to send a hostile message to black fans. It was a big fuck you. And check this out. Even speculated white supremacist journalist Dave Meltzer made a comment saying that she would have most likely been punished severely if she wasn't such a big star. And it wouldn't have happened also, too, if she was a lower tier star as well. So he also added that. And the thing is that she wasn't even a big star yet at that time. She was tag teaming and antagonizing the black women like a racist wrestling Karen. It wasn't about the card. She had the complexion for protection, and that's really all it was. Because all of a sudden, talent can supersede when racist hate crimes and actions go on, huh? The other truth is, she's really not even all that great, y'all. She's a 4-trick pony. She's got that damn moonsault, that ineffective ass bullshit ass flip, the worst swanton bomb I've ever seen, and then the Alabama slam. Hell, most of the bitches.
The only thing that I disagree with, and this is the main thing, why do you watch wrestling, man? I felt the racism in wrestling as a kid. Just looking at, see, this how I get, this is why I don't even watch professional sports. Because in the audience, see, you go to a professional game, you go to even a college game, even a high school game, you know, any sporting event, any wrestling, that's, you know, so-called sporting but more entertainment event, you're going to hear a bunch of racist people in that damn audience. I don't like the audience. So, yeah, these sporting, you know, these teams, these organizations, WWE, yeah, they're gonna pretty much promote what their audience want to see. And so that's why, as a black American, to watch wrestling in 2020, anything, like any time past the mid 80s, I would say, something is not clicking. Like, if you don't obviously see you could feel the racism for watching wrestling. They know that their fans want to see them dog out black people. They know that. It reflects, this is the culture. So I don't see where Cool Colas, I don't even see how he's still watching wrestling. That's the only issue I got. So that's the main issue, because we wouldn't be having this conversation if he didn't, you know, just stop watching that shit, bro. That's what I would tell him, man. But he probably, like I said, he called himself like a black power geek or something like that. So he probably don't see nothing wrong with watching wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of wrestling fans, they just love that shit. And I ain't mad at them, but I just can't watch it. You know, I refuse to watch it. But I played this video to go deeper into that culture that Jesse Ventura come out of. You know what I'm saying? That racist culture. And he kind of like an anomaly to come out of that culture and have his viewpoints that he have. You know, that culture is full of, full of racists, full of misogynists, full of every type of is you can think of. Yeah, let me let Cool Colas finish though.
Bitches' moves are stolen moves, and she botches like 30% of them bitches. The point is, I don't like her as a wrestler, I don't like her mic work, and to be honest, I don't even like the way that she looks. That bitch has no ass, too much makeup, and eats too much mayonnaise. Everyone rants and raves about her looks, and it makes me concerned about what dude standards really are today. Dudes are probably somewhere playing with their Johnson thinking about her little chicken cutlet shaped ass. She don't look better than none of the black female superstars that are in WWE. And to be honest, she don't look better than some of the white ones as well too. Matter of fact, I can only think of maybe like 5 to 10, probably more like 5, that are less attractive than her if we gonna be real. Many of the white and non-black superstars look better than her. Hell, I think that Liv Morgan, Maxine Dupree, Roxanne Perez, they all look better than her. Like, far better. I think my problem too is this started a trend, y'all, and it only got worse as time went on, especially when you look at what happened post the Carmelo Anthony situation. Because now you got Crystal Meth and Gollum from Lord of the Rings walking around, and they're damn near millionaires from being racist and being rewarded by other racists.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, maybe I'm wrong, though. Maybe I'm wrong, because they could have blown that money by this time on a lifetime supply of meth and mayonnaise. The point is, Tiffany Stratton is the next big thing on the promotion in more ways than one. First you had Triple H, and now you have Triple B. Blonde bimbo bitch. Back to the promos for a second. It's kind of funny to me how this little useless tramp likes to lean on racism when she can't say anything witty or anything that's actually a good comeback. I guess when in doubt, mayonnaise it out, huh? Needless to say, y'all know I think her ass is racist. Those who want to criticize me in this video, saying that I'm mean, I'm harsh, I'm brash, let me just say this. Fuck all that bullshit. I don't have to be nice or cool or kind to someone who is hateful towards people who look like me. So she gonna get all the smoke today. Feel free to answer whatever question is the most comfortable for you in the comments below. Do you think that Tiffany Stratton is a racist? Do you think that Tiffany Stratton...
Okay, so the last part of this title was the reason that I wanted to highlight this video, but I don't even know who this Tiffany Stratton lady is. I don't watch wrestling, so I thought he was going to go deeper into the whole WWE's, them being racist. But yeah, like I said earlier, I don't necessarily... I don't subscribe to watching no sports. Like I said, you go to any sporting event, you're going to hear a lot of racist shit coming from the fans themselves. A whole lot of it, man. It's like that's their time to be openly racist, and that's one of the main reasons why I can't, I don't care if I'm outnumbered, man. I be wanting to explode on these crazy racists. You can even see it from the kids, you know what I'm saying? The kids in sporting events, it's like they know, you know what I'm saying? This is the time where they can be openly racist, you know what I'm saying? So, man, it's sad. So just imagine that culture inside of a WWE event, full of hate, full of just vitriol, just spewing it, that KKK and Nazi symbol, man, they out there. That's their thing right there. Them backwood rednecks, man, I'd be damned if ever. So to even watch it on TV, it's just like, man, I haven't watched wrestling in so long, and like I said, I don't even watch sports. I can't watch sports. I know who in the Super Bowl. I kind of keep up with the Super Bowl for some reason. Maybe because it's always a good party going on surrounded by a Super Bowl. So other than that, I don't care who wins football. I don't care who wins basketball. I am happy the Detroit Pistons are doing good. I'm happy about that. I can't say, that was part of my childhood being a Pistons fan. Isaiah Thomas. I just seen a video on Isaiah Thomas and Mark Aguirre. So, you know what? Let me share that. I'm going to share something good, positive, instead of always showing this racist shit that I be showing. Yeah, I got a video I want to share. I want to watch. I ain't watched it, so I want to share this video with you guys too. Just seeing it. Yeah, that's it right here. Man, these are some of my childhood heroes.
Hey, Ro, come on up here, man. We need another teammate. We need another teammate.
Wow, they let you in here? Oh my goodness. Wow, my goodness, just seeing faces. Sir, how are you?
Sir?
Wow,
Yeah, that one.
what's up, man? Jeez. Y'all was in the gym before I was in the gym. God damn.
Thanks for your patience, everyone.
I hope y'all enjoy this. Cause they got me in here.
Right there in the back, and then we'll go to Dwayne. Right here in the back, then
Look at
Dwayne.
Mark Aguirre.
Hi, Mark, how you doing?
What's going on?
Just talk about what E. Rose has got his number retired.
Who?
Derrick Rose has got his number retired. Just talk about the other Chicago, just what Chicago means to them.
Well, you know, I hope that I did a little bit to let him know what Chicago was all about. Because, you know, without people like Isaiah, without people that's where it began. And he kept the tradition up, you know, to be an excellent player, you know, and he was an excellent player because he won MVP.
Yes, youngest to ever do it.
Youngest to ever do it. Wow. Even before West Sansell?
I believe so. I think he was on.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, that's a big stroke, and that's a big thing in your cap. I mean, to be that, and that's Chicago, though. You know, we expect that when we watch him. We expect that. Well, I didn't expect it from Derrick, but he did it, so he got that stripe on his shoulder. You know, you're part of that group. You know, you're part of that group.
Alrighty, then we're going to go to Dwayne, then to Brad. Go ahead.
Mark, just tell us what this day means to you, and also you've had your jersey retired in the fall, and now with the marriage. What about your hospital jersey?
I stole that.
You stole it?
Hey, don't listen to him, man. Don't listen to him, man. Don't listen to him, man. Dude. Hey, well, he didn't have to steal anything, because at the moment I left high school, I had already committed to him. Like I say, I got to go to Dallas, but you're going to Detroit. So we talked every day after that. We talked every day. I mean, what are you doing? Trying to get to the championship. What are you doing? Trying to get to the championship. That's all we talked about. We tired of Magic over here talking about he winning championships and we not winning. When you going to get you one? Soon. I'm getting one before you, you know. And that's all we did, talked about championships every day. That's all.
What does it mean, though, for you to have your jersey retired?
Now?
Right.
Well, it means a lot because, you know, when I look at the players that now have their play that's retired, you know, and I really look at Dirk, you know, like, hold on, you know, you actually were that good. You know, I give it to you, you know, I mean, I'm glad I'm there, but when I look at Dirk, he was that good, you know. You got to look at it and really bow your head to him. He was that good, you know, when I look at it. All guys that have got their jersey retired, the ones that I see, you know, they're that good, and I give them the respect. Go ahead.
I apologize. Brad, then Christian. Sorry, Brad.
Do you feel like you'll be able to keep your emotions in check, or are you going to let it all flow tonight?
Well, you know, I've been doing it. I mean, they've been doing this. How long it's been when they started talking to me about it? I got all that out early, you know, so now I'm settled in to really talk to you about what we want to talk about. So I'm okay. And Isaiah here, so he already cried outside. So now I can survive in here. So we got that over outside. So, yeah, we got that over. So I'm all right in here. Yeah.
Christian?
Hey, Mark, congratulations.
Well, thank you.
Cooper Flag, you know, Mavs first #1 pick since you. In December, he tied your Mavs rookie scoring record. I was just curious.
He did what?
42. I was just curious, you know, what you've seen so far. What do you think about Cooper, the player, and the person?
Well, you know, I mean, let me be honest with you. I didn't know that much about Cooper, but I got to sit down and talk to him first. And the first thing I talked to him about is not being afraid, you know, because you can't come into this business, especially because you got a big bullseye on your back. Everybody in the whole NBA know who you are, and they really test you. And you can't come in here being afraid because I was the #1 pick, and I had so many guys after me from day one. I was like, wow. And veteran guys after me, I can think of some veteran guys, in Portland after me, because they wanted to say, you're number one pick, but you're not getting away with that stuff you think you're getting away with. So you're going to be tested, and he has been tested, and he's coming through it very well. Very well. Yeah.
We're going to go Dorothy, then Jonah, then Coop. Dorothy, go ahead, please.
Right.
Hi, Dorothy.
Hi, Mr. Vaughn.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Mark.
First of all.
Mark, Mr. Aguirre, yeah.
It's an honor. My question to you is, how did this city and how did this team shape who you are?
Well, you know what? Come from Chicago, like Isaiah and I talking, we were different individuals, and to come to Dallas, to come with Don Carter, and that was the beginning of making who I am, made me humble, from day one, I was such a God-fearing young man. My mother made me take God with me when I came here. So that moved me right into Don Carter's whole area. So it made it better for me to understand that life in itself. So Dallas was perfect for me. Perfect for me.
We're going to stay over here to the left. Jonah, then Coop. Go ahead, Jonah.
Mark, was there ever a time when you thought this retirement ceremony might not ever happen?
You know what? With my teammates, Rolando Blackman back there, he would always be one of the good guys, on my back saying, look, we don't feel right without you being here. And I was like, well, man, if it happened, it happens. And then Derek Harper was one of those other guys, too, saying that, look, we know we already up here, but we miss you being up there because you was part of our team. And that made me feel a lot better. Made me feel a lot better about everything.
Coop, go ahead.
Mark, beyond the games themselves, what was your favorite part of playing in Union Arena?
Mark Cuban on the baseline. We talked every game, he was on the baseline and I was like, look, you got to shut up. You don't know, he calling our plays out. Stop calling our plays out. He calling our plays out before he knew the plays. I was like, you've been here so long and you watched us so much, you know exactly what we're getting ready to run. Stop calling our plays out. So that was a big part of it. Big part of it.
Over here to the right, Mike Curtis in the front row.
Thank you very much.
You played in the 80s, obviously the game is in a much different place than it was back then. What do you hope younger viewers of basketball to know about the way you played the game?
There are no easy escapes in this game. There's nothing you can do to what you put in is what you get out. So when I played, I had to. You were at the gym. You watched us play. When we played, you had to put in what you wanted to get out, and I put it all in, 100%. If I'm playing against you, I want to destroy you, and you got to have that kind of mindset going into it, and then you will play like you need to play. You can't just say, oh, I'm going to come here today and I'm going to just play good, and you can't do that. Doesn't happen, not in the pros. Not at all.
2 rows back, Mark Elfenbein.
Congratulations, Mark.
Well, thank you.
We're all very happy for you.
Well, thank you, brother.
Talk about Ray Meyer, what he meant to you.
I tell you what, I needed that early. When I was really, my timing was great. I needed Coach Meyer to get on me, to get me to play what I needed to play, but he got me to Dick Motta. Dick Motta was a next step for me. Dick was really tough, and he taught me the pro game. You did that college game, but this is not college. From day one, he was like, can't be late, got to be on time, you got to work hard, you got to do what you need to do. So he was the next step for me, up, Dick Motta was. But Ray Meyer, he started me to being who I am. He let me have enough room to grow. Yeah, he gave me enough room to grow, shoot my little 3-pointers. He let me grow.
One row up to Eddie Sefko, then to Noah in the front row. Go ahead.
Yes.
Other than being able to give each other grief and relive old memories, what's it mean to have Zeke and so many others here for you to support you tonight?
Well, that means so much to me. Well, we grew up in the same neighborhood, so he knows everything about me.
Deep.
He knows everything about me, so when I look at him, there's nothing, I can't hide anything from him. I can't hide anything. I'm sorry.
Hey, Ro, come on up here, man. We need another teammate. We need another teammate.
Just ask him to throw the ball, man. He stopped crying.
That is.
Oh, God. Jeez. Oh, my God. Jeez.
Oh, man. Nah, you were great, man. You were great. Don't worry about all that.
Just love him. Just love him, right?
Don't worry about all that, man. It's your time.
Can we get look?
Teammates, man.
Yeah.
Teammates, real teammates. You know, after all this, you know, we battled. I left him and I went to him on another team. I had to go tell him, look, I'm gonna get traded. You know, I walked on the bus and say, look, I'm gonna be traded soon, because I knew Isaiah was after me, and Mr. Carter let me know, you know, that don't be upset, but I might do this, and it happened. So, you know, just the beginning of my life, man. It was ugly, but it's the beginning of what I needed in order to be me. You know, it had to happen, you know. It had to happen. But, you know, life goes on. You know, what are you going to do?
All right, with that, that's
Be a
wrap.
champion.
Coach Kidd right here as well. Come on in, Coach Kidd.
Two-time.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Jason Kidd.
Man, I know you getting ready to work, man. What you
No,
do?
you working. It's about you.
No, man, it's
You can
about
answer
you.
all the questions.
Hey, look, this
I know
guy
they got
right
some
here,
good ones.
I had to go to Phoenix to
Big
see him.
brothers.
To say, who you going to see? I'm going to see Michael Finley, Jason Kidd, and who was that with Dirk being the what pick?
I don't know what pick. Ninth.
The ninth pick? And Tractor Trader was the other guy, right?
You know your history.
Huh?
Here, you want to ask these questions. They got questions to ask about the game. This is what coaches go through. Go ahead.
Oh,
take
I'm
it
not
from
a
here.
coach, man.
Yeah, be the coach for the day.
Big coach for the day.
No,
All
this is
right.
your day. You can be
All
the
right,
coach.
good. Well, he just called it. You know? He just called it. Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
So yeah, I just wanted to show a little bit of that, man. Show that off to let y'all know, like, I am about sports, just on a deeper level. I'm on it about this level, because the things I learned playing sports is you can apply what you learn on that field and on that court to everyday life. And that's what I tell all my athletic young partners, you know, my nephews that's in college, you know, going to college and playing sports. I tell them, man, it's like most of y'all not gonna make it to the league. So you have to have this. This is the real thing that make you a great athlete. It's here. And so all these things that you learn in basketball and football on them courts and on them fields, you can apply that to everyday life. Whatever field that you might want to go into, you could be a champion in any industry. and learn how to work with certain teammates the same way you learn how to work with them on that field and on those courts. The same thing. I always tell a lot of people don't understand how a lot of the athletes in our community, how their lives usually go. Now, the majority of them don't make it, right? So the ones that are good, that's used to being, superstars in high school, that don't make it because most of the time because of their grades, because they're not paying attention in school, and they keep getting, promoted next grade after next grade. They don't know nothing, right? So by the time they graduate and can't go to college, a lot of them end up doing in the streets. They end up, getting off into the illegal, in my generation, it was usually drugs, the drug trade. In this generation, is scamming, right? So they end up, they still want to be successful at something, but a lot of them don't really know nothing. They haven't learned nothing while they was in school. So they look at it, well, damn, I don't really know nothing. So I still want to make money. A lot of their friends, a lot of just so happen, a lot of athletes' friends are into illicit shit. So they end up in the streets doing what street stuff, doing what street people do. And when that don't work out, a lot of them want to go to being a musician, want to be a rapper. And that's usually the exact, like it go from athlete to the streets to the music in that order. So a lot of them, they don't want to get no job. They thought they was going to be superstars. They so used to being cheered on them courts and on them fields to where they just can't see their life being like a regular 9-to-5 type person. So a lot of them just refuse to get a job. Refuse. No, they want fast money. They want to be cheered on. So music seems to them to be a viable option. And a lot of times that don't work out for them either. You can't just use these things as, last resort. So I always share that perspective with a lot of young black athletes, that they just thought they was gonna make it if they just, just be the best in that sport. When that don't work, because a lot of black athletes, they are chosen, as far as, the NBA or NFL, they are not necessarily chosen all just based off of their athletic ability. A lot of times they choose them because based off of how they communicate, how they think, are they good? Can they have them around all the other NBA player, other professionals that's already there? How do they mesh? How do they, are they good locker room players? Can they, the chemistry? That's very important when a organization drafts one of these players. So they're not just draft them off their, ability, athletic ability. A lot of times they drafting them based off of their mindset, their intellect and how they communicate. That's very important. So a lot of, black athletes from our communities, they never learn those things. So a lot of them might not get drafted just based off of how they communicate or lack thereof. So it's a big thing, because the optics, it always got to be how things look to these professional teams, how things look. And that's basically what America built on, the image. They want things to look a certain kind of way. And that's what this whole, culture that we live in, this white supremacy culture, is based off of an image. Even religion is based off of image, how things look. So professional sports is no different. But yeah, man, I just wanted to share a little bit of that because I had Jesse Ventura, then we got off into WWE, then sports in general, right? Because it's all entertainment. And I wanted to just give y'all a deep dive into my mindset as far as how I look at sports. You know, that camaraderie that's in it. It's a big deal. I love the camaraderie. I love the life lessons that you can learn on them football fields and on those basketball courts. You know, any sport, you learn a lot more about life in general. It's not just about the sport itself. It's really about you. It's about each individual in reference to that sport. What can you learn from all the discipline that it takes to be a successful athlete? Can you apply that same discipline to any other field that you inevitably gonna go into? You know, the lifespan of a sports of a professional athlete is not gonna be long in general. You know, 4, 5, 6 years at best. You know, average wise. You know, everybody not LeBron. You know, so you know you gonna inevitably go into a different field. You know, so you have to take those things that you learn on those basketball courts, on those football fields, and apply them into those different fields that you gonna have to go into as you get older. You know, different things, different endeavors that you may want to go into. So yeah, man, this is my whole take on that. And I didn't even know it was gonna be like this, but hey, that's just how my mind worked. Look, if y'all enjoyed this video, like, comment, share, subscribe. We at over 500. We on our way to 1,000. Just got a new subscriber there. As y'all know, I subscribe back to my subscribers. So when you subscribe to me, I see it. Then I go to your channel and I subscribe to you. What my goal here is to do is to inspire everybody to do this same thing that I'm doing. We need you. We need your perspective. We need the way you look at things. Every one of us has an opinion and a perspective that's needed now more than ever. And eventually what we got to do is take all of this content and get together to create physical content together. And that's what I love about a lot of YouTubers. They collaborate. And that's what I look forward to doing with a lot of y'all that's on my channel. I look forward to going live together with y'all. You know, really sharing some perspective together and creating content together. Yeah, and that's what I want to do. So y'all don't, you know, feel free to message me. Feel free to reach out to me. I reach out back. I reach back. I'm not just online. Like I love to talk to people in person. I love to talk to people on the phone, FaceTime. I love that. So feel free to reach out to me, man. Feel free. I'm all ears. I'm available. Yep. But I'm out of here, y'all. I'm gone. One.
Yo, it's Marlon Speaks Live, yeah, I'm saying what they hide. History uncensored, let the real survive. Yeah, it's truth over comfort, I don't pick no side. If it shake the room a little, let the truth collide. Cause it's Marlon Speaks Live, no script, no disguise. I don't sell no lies, just to monetize. Cause the past still breathing and it never dies. Yeah, it's Marlon Speaks Live, now the truth will rise. Yo, it's Marlon Speaks Live, yeah, I'm saying what they hide. History uncensored, let the real survive.